Hey, welcome back to Geek Out RC. My name's Dale. Today we're going to be taking a look at Team Associated's first complete redesign of their legendary gold pan. This is the RC10 B2. The B2 debuted at the 1995 IFMAR World Championships in Japan. It was piloted by none other than Matt Francis, who took the TQ and first place overall. Now this buggy was basically brand new from the ground up, but by far the most noticeable change was the new molded composite chassis that incorporated the rear bulkhead now as one piece with the chassis. They also increased front and rear suspension travel. It got slightly longer front shocks. Got a new larger rear differential, new universal axles in the rear end, and the new rear suspension arms allowed for an adjustable wheelbase. There were two variations of this car when it released. There was a sport kit and a racer kit, and it was only 2 years before Associated released the B3 with more updates. Now, as many of you already know, I was addicted to collecting RC10s. Years ago. I wanted one of every variation there was, so my original purchase was a sport kit. I bought it off of eBay. It was already assembled and painted, and when I realized that there was also a racer kit, I decided I had to have one of those as well. So I got on eBay and I just kept purchasing piece by piece what you see here before you today. This was not a kit. I rounded up all these parts myself and assembled this thing from scratch. Now there are a few parts on this buggy that are inaccurate that only the most diehard of RC10 guys are going to pick up on probably, but this front top plate has holes in it, and that was for mounting a sway bar. The B2 did not have that option. That's actually off of a B3. And also the rear chassis plate on this car has this kick out here, and that is also from a B3. The B2 had a straight chassis plate that just came straight back. I don't know if I just couldn't find these parts at the time of the build or if I didn't realize as I was putting the car together, but those are a couple of B3 parts that got mixed in there. Now there were actually a large number of differences between the sport kit and the racer kit. The sport kit used a different body with a bubble molded into the left-hand side of it to accommodate the servo and the mechanical speed control. The racer kit got a sleeker body, in my opinion, and it had a vent over here on the side that you could cut a hole in to allow some air circulation for your electronic speed control. The sport kit got older styled 3-piece wheels that screwed together and act as a bead lock, and I think actually are a little bit nicer because you can just take them apart to change your tires, versus the racer kit, which used 1-piece wheels and you had to glue your tires to the wheel. The sport kit used Associated tires front and rear, whereas the racer kit got a set of Proline flat stubbies for the rear and Proline edge tires for the front end. The sport kit used the older Associated gold anodized shocks, whereas the racer kit used the newer hard anodized shocks that were found on the World's car and some of the later buggies. Now everything from the all-new chassis to the rear shock tower, the battery strap, the front top plate, and all of the suspension arms was made from this new molded composite that was extremely durable and very lightweight. They did still utilize some anodized aluminum in the motor plate and the rear chassis plate, as well as up front in the front kick-up for the suspension. And that just added some extra rigidity. The car was just so different in so many ways. New front and rear shock towers, new steering bell cranks, You could use foam blocks to move your battery pack forward or backward for a weight bias. To my knowledge, it was the first time that Associated had mounted the rear shocks behind the shock tower. That was something new. I think the only thing really that got reused from previous generation RC10s was the stealth transmission, with the exception of the larger differential. The uprights, C-hubs, just everything new from the ground up and radically different, and an amazing car, and it made waves. It was winning world championships right out of the gate, and when local racers got their hands on them, they were picking up victories at their local races as well. So just an amazing car. Typical Team Associated, they knocked it out of the park. All right, so that's a look at Team Associated's B2, or second generation buggy, complete redesign. I think next we'll take a look at the B3, and though they look like the exact same car, there was a lot of changes between the second and third generation RC10. So thanks for watching. Take care.